Rule now, isn't it? So if you buy your pasty cold, it costs so much money, but if it's then heated up, it then pay 20% extra because it's now become an ambient pasty. It's become more than room temperature.
Paul's not only right, but I think if you queue for the pasty while it's being warmed up and then it goes cold again, it does this, the graph of what you have to pay. So at the beginning of the queue, it's 20% up, but if it goes cold again, it's a cold pasty. So it's 20% down.
Yeah, so if you buy a pasty that's hot, you take it home and it's cold, you're owed a rebate.
Yes, it's a terrifically well thought out piece of legislation.
But I think it's basically about trying to have a sensible set of VAT arrangements where the boundaries are sensible. I'm a pasty eater myself. I go to Cornwall on holiday. I love a hot pasty. I think the last one I bought was from the West Cornwall Pasty Company, who I seem to remember I was in Leeds Station at the time, and the choice was whether to have one of their small ones or their large ones, and I've got a feeling I opted for the large one, and very good it was too.
So it turns out that well-known man of the people, our Prime Minister, likes a Cornish pasty. In fact, he says the last one he had, he got here in Leeds Station from the West Cornwall Pasty Company. But there's a bit of a problem with David Cameron's story, because there hasn't been a West Cornwall Pasty Company here for 5 years.
Can you help us any further on the precise location of the Prime Minister's last pasty purchase?
Jeremy, if you were as busy as the Prime Minister, being whisked around the country, you would probably forgotten which platform you would have had it on.
Say he didn't even pay for it?
Well, no, whether he paid for it or not is not something that actually makes...
I mean, I can remember when I bought a pasty last.
When did you last buy a pasty?
I last bought a pasty in Cornwall, actually, last summer. I last went into a Greggs last Saturday.
Well, good for you for remembering that. I bet you're not as busy as the Prime Minister, though.
Possibly not, but you say it's perfectly understandable he doesn't know where he bought the last pasty. I suggest to you he was making it up.
When's the last time you bought a pasty in Greggs?
Look, I can't remember the last time I bought a pasty in Greggs, to answer your question.
That kind of sums it up. Now, as you're
when was the last time?
As you're putting up the price of hot pasties in Greggs, if I buy a pasty from Greggs that's cooked hot, but by the time it gets in the paper bag and I take it away, it's cold, will it be vatable or not?
Well, if it's cold when you buy it, it will not be.
Thank you. No, we're not.
What you got for
How many we get? 8. You are mine. The Chancellor needs to buy.
Yeah.
Hi there. Can we get 8 sausage rolls?
8.
2 bags of
Can I have a sausage roll and steak bacon?
Well,
for Easter.
Not sausage rolls, sorry. Hot cross buns, £2.
It's 10 days too early.
It's not. Never too early.
Never too
He's
early.
training for the marathon.
He definitely, actually that is true, he definitely...
How much room?
That's
£4.70. How about that figure?
Right, very good, very good.
Thank you.
Well, we're in Redditch here to meet some people, and we popped in to buy some sausage rolls, but there is a serious point here, which is that the government is hitting people's living standards in every way they can. Not just fuel duty going up, child benefit taken away, tax credits being cut, now even putting 20% on the cost of pasty sausage rolls.
But the millionaire Ed Miliband walked into Greggs today for a photo shoot. Well, he cringes at that.
Just before today, when was Ed Miliband last in a Greggs?
I haven't got a clue.
And pasties? How many eat pasties here? Eh? Come on, who's going to admit this? Come on, you all eat pasties, you know. How many? How many eat pasties? Cornwall pasties? No? I have a... Yeah. Well, you see, even in that one, you now come up with a rule, on the pasty you pay VAT if it comes out of the oven. But if it cools down a bit, you don't pay VAT. Well, that's a bloody odd thing, isn't it? And I gave 250 pasties away in Brighton last week. And of course they said, how do you know it's reached the cool temperature where you don't pay? So I stuck my finger in it. I said, oh, that's wrong. So right? But still I give away 250 pasties. Look, what that represents, it's like dealing with the changes in pensions and granny and then to reduce the tax on the millionaires. I mean, God bless me, it's just unbelievable. That's out of touch whichever way you see it. And that's what that budget was.
Oh, we're so pretty, oh, so pretty. We're vacant. Yes, what's happening, kids? Yeah, what it is, just a little fucking quick one for you is hashtag oi. Yeah, what it is, right, I'm sitting at you saying, yeah, Connor, how you always smashing the pasty and that, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, know what it is. Anyone and everything can smash the fucking pasty, kids. And this is how it's done, oh, yeah, right, so what it is, you get yourself a fucking fresh pasty, right? And you just grip it by the palm of the fucking hand. Oh, you alright? You grab your pasty, don't be nasty. Then you just get it, then you just smash the pasty. Don't be nasty, smash the pasty. And that's just warming up some. Give it the doubler. There's fucking steak meat everywhere. Oh, yeah, keep coming up on the mic, can't do it proper. Hold tight the sausage roll. Oh, yo. Yes, know what I mean, man? Anyone can smash a pasty, don't be nasty. Hey, jump that, Martin. Keep that, that's it. Hold tight on the little baguettes inside. Yes. Grab the pasty, don't be nasty. Grab that pasty, don't be nasty. Ha, hoity, oi. Yes, hold tight to you fucking montastic bee. Ha, hoity, oi, jump to the beat, is that and get everything going. Yes, kids, like I say, anyone can smash a fucking pasty, man. Don't be nasty, so smash the pasty.
Turning up the heat on the government's proposed pasty tax. Bakers take to Westminster to protest against the extending of VAT to freshly baked goods and deliver a petition of 300,000 names to the government. The signatures were gathered by the National Association of Master Bakers and the High Street bakery Greggs.
Well, the aim of today is very simply to make sure that the Prime Minister and the Chancellor know that over 500,000 people are absolutely furious about this. And
Birds. Look at them, 20,000 Cornish people heading straight from Falmouth town. It's unbelievable. Just chucking them in rain, it's freezing cold, but it doesn't matter a jot. Because us Cornish people, we know what's right and what's wrong. And taxing a bloody pasty, it did not.
This is us 6 here from Penzance supporting Colonel King's pasty tax. We're stop the bastards up top taking our money off our pasties.
I've come here today to protest with the Colonel King at this unscrupulous tax that is a vicious attack on the Cornish economy.
It's going to make a lot of people that buy them as a staple food in Cornwall actually not be able to afford them, and people will go out of business.
And you're going to think twice when you're sitting in the street for your lunch. You're not going to buy a pasty, you're going to buy something else.
Don't get in her way, she'll knock you out. I've seen her. Down the pub, down the Lids, she gets hammered.
The horses stood still, the wheels went around, going up Camborne Hill, coming down. Like stocking!
Been reports of a government U-turn over plans to impose VAT on Cornish pasties. Change of heart follows a mass campaign against the so-called pasty tax. Gary Gibbon is in Westminster. Hot joins cold, is it, Gary?
Something like that. There was a great big outcry about all of this, of course.